is mention of oral leases being recognized. Every fiber of my being says that an oral agreement goes against our training regarding the statute of frauds. Does anyone remember from school what that statute says? But it did say for a contract to be legit, it needed to be in writing. Then here we go with oral leases in our own contracts. Every part of me goes, I'm out, bye. Because if you all do read the Tierra Grand magazine, we're gonna go back to what you're speaking about, Tremaine, but this is a sticking point for me. The Tierra Grand magazine, about one issue, maybe 2 issues ago, had a lengthy article about oral leases and how bad it can go. You guys will be right in the middle of this if that stuff isn't squared away by attorneys prior to closing. Who said what when? We're talking spit in the handshake. 6 generations back, and we've been going by this agreement that no one has written down anywhere. So be aware what you're getting into. Yes, or Nick?
Yeah, I'm just curious, why is this even in discussion? Why all of a sudden is an oral lease an option after so many years of legal, it's black and white, usually it's, why is this a discussion in the first place?
Another big issue that we do see is sometimes there's abandoned houses on it, and the house, there is a surface lease. And I'm going through that right now where they own the land. There's a house with a whole different legal description and property number sitting on the land, and the house was abandoned. So the kid is selling the land from his father, did not know that there's another owner for that house. And it's sitting in the not in the middle of the land, but on the land.
There's also an instance where the people that work on the land, there are several generations that have worked there, and the grandchildren didn't know that grandparents from the original owners of the land had given them as a gift, because their whole family has been there working on the land forever.
And that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. So definitely, Nick, this is designed to make you aware of what you might have glazed over. All right, my friends, let's do it. Let's see what you know. Let's see what you know and see if your answers line up with the ones on the screen. I'll let you know when we've hit the end, so you can take a picture if you'd like to do this in your own offices as an office exercise. Totally up to you. So here we go. Number 3, for Brazilians, giving this hand gesture to indicate all is well can be considered rude. What was the answer that you all came up with? And you can put it in the chat if you'd like. Exactly. It is okay. The chirp, that signal might be considered rude by some. How about number 6 across? Some Americans think this is unlucky and don't want it in their addresses.
13.
13, my friends. Don't even put it in the address. Don't put it in the elevator. Don't even want a 13th floor. How about number 7? When we're looking at a home, you might be required to remove what?
Take your shoes off.
There it is. Take off your shoes. So it depends on how you ordered those words. That was a long one. Take off your shoes. Okay, number 8. Some Asians believe this number is unlucky because it sounds like their word for death. 4. It is 4. And let me see, number 9. This is the Chinese art of creating harmonious surroundings. What is that word? 10 extra points if you can spell it. I heard every single group. Who knows how to spell it? I'm looking at the chat.
Feng Shui.
Feng Shui. That's how you spell it. Fengshi. Feng Shui. And avoid using this ink color, especially when writing names when working with clients from South Korea. Red. Of course, you don't have too many choices, red. And then devout members of this faith do not allow the touching of non-family members of the opposite sex. A handshake is not going to seal the deal, and that is ta. So, and I learned that the hard way. Gentleman was like, because I kept trying to shake his hand, and then I was like, well, how about a fist bump? And he kept saying, ma'am, if you don't stop asking me, I cannot touch you. I was like, how about a pinky swear? And he was like, lady, we can't even touch fingernails. Stop it. And he really did. Take a picture of this if you need those answers. Tilting of the head. This one's a big one for me. Tilting of the head sometimes really can mean, oh, come on now, seriously. That's a big clue. Somebody doesn't believe what you just said. Or like they say, thinks you're stupid. But it's like, come on now, really? If someone is turned sideways like this gentleman in the middle, they're already put off by what you're saying. They're already turned away from you. They're not engaged in what you're saying. You're having a business conversation with someone who's turned away from you, you've already halfway lost them. That's why I'm watching your posture. When you all turn away from me, except for those of you who have to watch me on a separate slide, I lost you already. The fact that many of you are turned forward and are watching this class this way, it's always a good thing for me. You're engaged, and I like that. But take a look at now this one's a tough one. See this woman's legs crossed at the ankle? This is a fashion thing. The red carpet did this to us, didn't it? Ladies do this on the red carpet as a means of looking slender. We do this now to make our look more sleek. But if we do this after standing with our feet apart for a while, it might mean, okay, I've had enough of you. We need to wrap this in the bud, nip it in the bud, and we're done. Shades on our face while we're talking in the sunshine, in the inside of a building. Why are your shades on your face? You blocked me out already. So pay attention to what's going on. And arms crossed is never good. Arms crossed, hands in pockets, never good. Okay, so Wendy, very good point. Wendy says, when I was figuring out my headshot for real estate, I saw a lot with arms crossed and didn't think of it. It's interesting that a lot of people do their business picture with their arms crossed. You have to make the differentiation between this being the business power pose versus I don't want to talk to you. There is a difference. Just like the ankles being crossed being this thing that women do to slenderize themselves versus I don't want to talk to you. So people will understand the context under which you cross your arms. And usually when the hands are up, right, and we're doing one of these things, it's a bit of a power pose as opposed to this here. See, that usually comes with some lips. Look at here, look at it, sweet. You see all that extra that came with it? Now that's different than catch it, subtlety. Both hands were still out. I'm smiling. I do one more time. Difference.